The Union Minister for Law and Justice and Electronics and IT, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, to please address the congregation.
Mahamahim Rashtrapati, respected Shri Ramnath Kovind ji, the Chief Justice of India, Shri Rajan Gogoi, Justice Lokur, Justice Joseph, Distinguished Attorney General of India, Mr. Venugopal, good friend Vikas Singh, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, of the High Court, former Chief Justices and Judges of India, Chief Justices of the neighboring countries, Mr. Nariman, Mr. Soli Swarabji, friends of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. After a hard labor of 2 years, 11 months, on 26th of November 1950, we adopted our Constitution. This was made possible by the hard work of leaders of great foresight, scholarship, and above all, statesmanship. They deliberately and consciously kept the people of India in the center of their narrative and came with a constitutional ecosystem where they trusted the ability of ordinary Indians to determine the destiny of India. I think this innate trust in the people of India is one of the most outstanding attributes of our constitution making. There were naysayers. India is not fit for democracy. Maybe they have a point. There was partition, millions were killed, displaced. Yet the trust in the people of India stands vindicated today after 70 years. The people of India today know who they are and what they owe to themselves. The reason as to why I've been very fascinated with the journey of India's evolution of Indian democracy, right from my days as a student activist, that ordinary Indian's sixth sense and DNA of his inherent trust in Indian democratic process, regardless of his religion, caste, community, economic status, or literacy, is the most defining moment of India's constitutional governance. And we need to trust India's democracy, because they have got this confidence we can unseat any political leader or political party, howsoever popular, howsoever powerful, in Delhi or in states. If this happens, it also brings about a great humbling experience. Let me give you only one example. There were forces in some parts of India, also in South India, who talked of alienating away from India. But once they were trusted with political power through democratic franchise, they never talked of alienating away of India. This is the humbling experience of Indian democracy. The reason as to why I was trying to highlight this element, that when it was brought to my notice that in a judgment a very distinguished honorable judge, a man of great intellect, has quoted, in adopting a democratic constitution, the framers would have been conscious of the fact that governance by majority is all about accumulation of power. I think there is a need to reconsider that the founding fathers were aware that they were consciously and deliberately trusting the people of India, where accountability was of prime importance. If we see 70 years down the line, the political process, the element of governance, the statecraft, the civil society, the media, all have contributed into the flowering of Indian democracy. People know that they have to govern for a purpose, either perform or perish. But what is truly remarkable which I need to mention, is the role of Indian judiciary. And the reason as to why I say of remarkable distinction, that I had also observed about it on some other occasion. Any issue which arose in any part of the world arose in India, leading to disputes from race to religion to caste to community to language and region. Passions arose. But here was the judicial response which led to the calming of passions. I think this extraordinary role of Indian Supreme Court needs to be complimented. We're very proud of that. Two small observations and then I'll conclude. We hear a lot of constitutional morality, which Justice Lokur talked about. Vikas also mentions of innovation. We appreciate these innovations as a supplement. The only respectful submission I would like to make is the nuances of constitutional morality needs to be outlined with greater clarity. And it should not differ from judge to judge, but there must be a consensus. The reason as to why it is important is that if a government action is found to be in infraction of constitutional morality, there must be judicially manageable standards whereby a determination can be made. As is the case under Article 1421, we hear about silences of constitution from where emerged basic structure. But basic structure today is defined where we as lawmakers are aware of our limitations. Lastly, today is the anniversary of the dastardly attack in Mumbai, terror attack, which Justice Lokur talked about. And based on the 10th of anniversary, I have to highlight another issue. We are proud of the record of human rights have been read as a part of Article 21. But we need to understand that terrorists today are equipped with the most deadly weapons. They also claim human rights, fair trial, which we must give. That's what Indian constitutional ethos is about. But what about the human rights of the victim of terror, of senseless killings? How do we balance the two? That is an issue which we think we need to discuss, debate, and ponder about. But I am quite sure, ladies and gentlemen, this march of 70 years is march of great aspiration, of great hope, wherein the values of Constitution has ingrained a great self-confidence in the ordinary people of India that through this process we have to make our country great. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.